Welcome back to Mac Talks. Football and La Liga is gonna start tomorrow. We have waited for about 2.5 months to see this season finally start, and it is up here. And I'm going to make my predictions in this video, and I'm gonna predict what I think is gonna happen. Who is gonna win the league? Who gets relegated? Who qualifies for Europe? Everything I am gonna predict in this video. So let's get started. At number 20, I am going with a Real Oviedo. I mean, it is a really good story. It's a beautiful story. They are back in La Liga, along with their legend Santi Cazorla. But as beautiful as the story is, I think it is going to be a very short story. I mean, they scored lacks goal scorers, and even in their defense, it is not really solid. Their score is not really up for La Liga. Unfortunately, I don't think they are going to be able to compete in the league, and I think their stay is going to be really a short one, and they are going to go straight back down. I'm sorry to the Oviedo fans, but I think you are going to finish 28th and you are going to go straight back down. At number 19th, joining Oviedo is another one of the promoted teams, Elche. I mean, they had a really great season last year, fighting for that title in Liga Segunda. But to be very honest with you, they have lost most of their star players from that team. The players that had them come and get promoted into La Liga have left the club, and the players that they've brought in, to be very honest with you, it hasn't really that makes that much difference to the squad, and I don't think it is. It has not really stunted them, and it has not really made that much difference. And if you look at the teams around them, I think all of them have a much better score as compared to Elche, and I think that is the reason, unfortunately for them, they are going to go back down at the same time, just like Oviedo. Within 1 year, I think they are going to go back down, and I think they are going to finish 19th. At number 18th, I'm going with Alaves. I mean, they barely survived a relegation last year, winning in the last 5 games, winning 2 of them and drawing 2 of them. They managed to get 8 points, and that somehow put them above the 3 relegated teams. But the fact of the matter is, now they have lost Kike Garcia, who was really important, who scored the goals for them, and they have replaced him with Mariano Diaz. And if I'm being very honest with you, I am not really excited. I am not really impressed with that replacement, because the fact of the matter is, Diaz went goalless last season. So you have replaced a guy who scored about 15 goals with a guy who did not score a single goal. So I think that is going to be a big problem for Alaves. I don't see anybody who's going to score the goals for them, and their midfield is quite weak as well. And I think it is going to be a very tough season. They might somehow escape relegation like they did last season, but I just don't see it happening. Unfortunately, I think their time in La Liga is going to come to end this year, and they are going to go down alongside Elche and Oviedo. I have them finishing 18th. Number 17, I'm going again with a team that barely escaped a relegation in Sevilla. And if you look at their transfer business, I mean, it doesn't really, give you that much confidence. And unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot more pressure on Locabecia to, replicate his form from last year. And if he's not really able to do that, even if he is able to do that, I think they are going to be in trouble. But if for some reason he's not able to do that, I think Sevilla are going to be in a big problem. I have them at 17, but to be very honest, they could quite easily be in that relegation zone as well. But at the moment, I'm going with Sevilla at 17th. Number 16, I'm going with Levante. I mean, they had a really great end to the season that helped them to pip Elche to the Liga Segunda title, and I think that confidence is going to continue in La Liga as well. The transfer business has been really good. They have improved in almost all the departments. They have bring in a lot of players, and that that they have strengthened in every department, and I think that is a really wise thing to do. Coming from down, you need to have a lot of depth in your squad, and with players already. You have Carlos Alvarez, you have Ivan Romero, you have Roger Bruch, and then you have Jose Luis Morales as well. All of them were really crucial for Levante last year, and they would hope that they can continue their good form in La Liga as well, which I think they are going to be able to, even if they don't go ahead and score the double figure goal scores, but I still think they are all going to be important. I think with the score that they have, they are going to be able to stay in the league, and I don't think they are going to have that much trouble. I think they are going to finish 16th, and I think they will be really happy with it. Number 15, I'm going with Espanyol, another team who barely escaped a relegation last year. Last year, La Liga relegation was a tough fight. So you had so many teams on the verge of relegating, and of course, Espanyol were one of them. They have had a really, a good transfer window, bringing in Keke Garcia, bringing in Robert Fernandez, Tyron Dillon. All of them have come in, to bolster the attack, to help them score the goals which they really needed. They have also brought in Miguel Robert, and Jose Salinas has joined as well to help that defense. So they have spent the money. They have tried to strengthen their squad, and I think somehow they are going to be able to stay in La Liga and finish in that 15th place, which I still think they might be in that relegation battle again, but I still think and I think they are going to escape yet again, and I think they are going to finish 15th. Number 14, I am going with Girona. I mean, they had a massive fall last year, and they were in that fierce relegation battle. Another one of teams. They finished 16th last year. And as I said, they were in that relegation battle, but they somehow survived. Their transfer business has not really, sent sparks, to be very honest with you. They have brought in Thomas Alemar on loan. They have also brought in Alex Witsel, on a free transfer as well to bolster their defense. But I still think they are sure they need somebody to come in and to help them to score the goals. I think it will be a tough season for them. Again, I think, the La Liga relegation battle is going to be quite tough again, even though I think Girona are going to finish 14, but I still think, they are going to be fears of that them are getting relegated, but in the end I think they are going to survive and they are going to end up finishing 14th. Number 13, I have gone with Getafe. They have had 9 new players in their squad. They have brought in 9 new players, and I think that could go either way. They could either be amazing, and Getafe could get up in that top 10, trying to qualify for those European places, or it could turn out to be a massive problem. I think it is the latter. I think it is going to be a problem for Getafe. Bringing in so many players in is never easy, and unfortunately the way that Getafe plays, it is going to take those players a lot of time. And I think by the time this settle in, I think it is going to be too much of a problem for Getafe to get to have any hopes to get into the top 10, or even fight for top 10, to be very honest with you. And I think they are going to have yet another mid-table finish, and I think most of Getafe fans would be happy if if they are not in that relegation battle, and if they somehow stay in the season, and that is why I think they are going to finish 13th in the league. Number 12th, I've gone with Rayo Vallecano. I know it's a bit surprising. They had a really great season last year, and they they barely qualified for that Conference League based on a goal difference, and that is one of the reasons why I have put them outside of the top 10. Their transfer business has not been that impressive. They have not really strengthened their squad, and the fact that they are going to be playing about 3 games in a week, I think that is going to have an effect on their league squad. It depends whether they really concentrate on the Conference League, or they give it all give it all in the La Liga. I think they are going to concentrate on the Conference League, and I think that is going to have an effect on their La Liga performances, and I think that is why they are going to have a drop, and that is why I'm putting them to finish at 12th in the league this year. Number 11, I'm going with Osasuna. They have a new manager in Alessio Lici. I think their transfer business has not been that good. They have just brought in Victor Muñoz till now. But to be very honest with you, Osasuna's main concern was to keep Abodemar at the club, and they have been able to do that. There have not been that many major departures from the squad, and I think that is very important. And with the other clubs around them, for example, Vallecano are playing in those European competitions, I think there is a chance that they might sneak in that top 10, and that is why I put them very close to the top 10. At the moment, I think they are going to finish 11th, but if they creep up into the top 10, I would not be surprised. I think they are going to have a very respectable good season. I don't think they are going to have a problem with that relegation, and I think they are going to finish 11th in the league. Number 10, I'm going with Valencia. I think they have had a great transfer window, even though they have lost Christian Masquera, which is a big deal for them, who has joined Arsenal. But I still think they have a really good squad. The players that they have brought in, I think it is going to be a really good season for them, and that is why it is between them and Osasuna, and between that 10 to 11. I have put them Valencia at number 10 at the moment. But again, as I said, with Osasuna, this both of them could interchange. But at the moment, I am going with Valencia at number 10. At number 9, I'm going with Mallorca. They had an amazing season last year, finishing in the top 10. Nobody really expected that, so they surprised everybody. But now their fans would hope, that they can replicate their performances from last season. And to be very honest with you, they can do it. They are very hard to beat. They are very hard to score against. The only problem that they have is that they are not really able to score the goals. They have brought in Pablo Torre from Barcelona and Matthew Joseph from Leeds on loan to help them in scoring the goals. And Mallorca fans would hope that both of them can chip in with the goals, because they really need that. There were a lot of games where they missed out. They dropped the points because they were not really able to score the goals. Otherwise we would have been talking about Mallorca finishing in the European place, and they might have been in Europe this season. So those two coming in, there's a lot of pressure on them, but I think they are going to have another good season, and I have them finishing 9th this year. Number 8, I am going with Real Sociedad. I mean, they would like to forget last season, from finishing in the 5th, finishing 5th in the table to going out of the top 10. They had a really bad season. They have lost Martin Zubimendi to Arsenal, but they have brought in Gonzalo Guedes from Wolves. That's a really important signing. I think they have a really good squad. They, apart from Zubimendi, nobody really has really left the club, so they really have a good squad intact. And I think them not having European football and the play, clubs around them having a European football is going to be really helpful for them, and they're going to be in contention for those European places. There is no doubt about it, and they might end up qualifying for Europe. But at the moment, with the squad and everything, that the transfer window that has happened till now, I think Sociedad are going to end up finishing 8th. At number 7, I'm going with Celta Vigo. They are going to be in Europe this season, so that's going to be a big thing for them. Their transfer window has not been that good, if I'm being very honest with you. It's been quite slow. They have brought in Ferran Jogla and Brian Zaragoza to help them, in the attack. They would like to score more goals. They were one of the teams who scored quite a few goals last season, so they need to improve with that. Geraldes and his team of coaches need to be, really aware of the fact that they are going to be playing about 3 games a week, with Europa League and all of that. So it will be important to see how they perform. I hope they have a good run in Europe, because I think that is going to take the steam out of their league form. I put them on 7th. I think it is wishful thinking. I've been too too lenient on them. I could have get them out of top 10, and teams like Sociedad would have more further. But I still think they are going to shock everybody, and they're going to have a good season. That is why I'm going with Celta Vigo at number 7. At number 6, I'm going with Villarreal. I mean, they had an amazing end to the season last year, winning 6 of their games and they're qualifying for the Champions League, and they are going to be playing in the Champions League. But the fact of the matter is they have lost both Alex Baena and Thomas Berry. I think that is a huge loss for them. Both of their top 2 goal scorers have left them, and I think that is going to be a big void to fill. They have brought in Alberto Moreno, Rafa Verin, and Thomas Partey has also joined him as well. But if I'm being very honest with you, I think Villarreal are going to struggle, playing in the Champions League as well. And the fact that your 2 main players have left, and the players that you have replaced them with are not really that good. They are not at their level. Thomas Partey coming in, I think that is going to be really helpful for them in that, he's going to solidify that midfield. He's played in the Champions League. He has that experience as well. So I think that is a good signing. Off the field, the issues that have happened with them, that is a question mark. But on the field, I think it's a really smart signing for Villarreal. I have dropped them to one more, a place down from last year, but I still think they are going to have a good season. And I don't think they are going to have a good Champions League, but I think in the league they are still going to have a quite good season, and that is why I'm going with Villarreal at 6th. Number 5th, I'm going with Real Betis. They qualified for Europa League by finishing 6th last year. I think they are going to do a place better this year, and they are going to finish 5th. But to be very honest with you, their transfer window has been not good. They have lost both Jesse Rodriguez and Johnny Cardozo, and I think both of them are quite a big miss. They are basically they have not brought anybody in that is to be very honest with you, that is at their level. If I'm being very honest with you, Nelson Desea and Rafiq Kelme has come in, but I'm not really that excited about their business. There are still rumors that Anthony might end up coming, whether on permanent or whether again on a loan. That is going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. If he comes in, I think that is going to really help Betis, but I don't think Manchester United are willing to let him go out on loan as well. But as of now, I think the squad is quite good enough. I think it is going to be interesting to see how they perform in Europa League. I really think Real Betis have a chance. They've played in the final of the Conference League last year as well. They missed out on that. lost the final to Chelsea. So their talent is there, the squad is quite good enough, and I would not be surprised if they are in another European final this time around. And in the league, I think they are going to finish fifth, and they are going to have an amazing season. Number 4, I am going with Athletic Club. I think they are going to finish fourth. Yet again, they finished fourth last season. I think they were amazing last year. They really impressed me. And I think they are going to have another successful season this year as well. Their transfer business has not been that flashy. They have brought in Jesus Arezzo and Robert Navarro. But to be very honest with you, their main concern was to keep Nico Williams at the club, and he has stayed at the club. I think that was very important for Athletic Club, and I think with him at the club and with these two new players coming in, I think they are going to be another they're going to be a dangerous side, especially I just feel like people are not looking at it, if I'm being very honest with you, especially in those Champions League games. I think going to Athletic Club's home stadium, I think those games are going to be really tough, and they are going to be a surprise factor. A lot of the teams didn't really pay attention to Aston Villa last year, and they surprised so many teams. I think Athletic Club could do the same this year, and I think they are going to have a really good league season as well. I think they are going to finish fourth, and they are going to qualify for the Champions League next year yet again. Into the top 3, and I think now I am going to surprise a lot of the people. At number 3, I'm going for the reigning champions, Barcelona. I know. I mean, they are amazing. They were really amazing last year. Nobody thought they were going to win the title last year, and but they ended up winning the league. But this year, I just think it is Barcelona. They are going to get better. Yamal is going to be there. Lewandowski is going to be there. Rafinha is going to be there. But to be very honest with you, their transfer window has not been that good. I mean, they have just brought in Johan Garcia, and they are still not able to register him. There is big row going on with Ter Stegen, where he says, "I'm not that injured." They said, "You are injured. We cannot register you." So all of that drama is happening. They have brought in Marcus Rashford, which I think is a really smart signing. I think it's going to work out quite well. I don't think they are going to win the league, but I think it's not going to be an easy ride for the other two clubs. I think it's going to be very close, but I think Barcelona are going to miss out, and I think the difference is going to be about 1 to 2 points. I don't think it's going to be that much, but I don't think they win it. I think Barcelona are going to finish at number 3. At number 2, I'm going with Real Madrid. I think they had a really underwhelming season last year. They were not in a tighter race with Barcelona. If I'm being very honest with you, Barca had it quite easy. They were at one time, they had about 12 points a lead, and they threw it away. Their Champions League form was not that good. They were really poor in the Club World Cup. They are under new management with Xabi Alonso, and Madrid stars would hope that Xabi Alonso can replicate his Leverkusen magic. But if I'm being very honest with you, I don't think that happening. They have brought in Trent Alexander-Arnold. They have brought in Dean Huysen, and Carrera has come in as well. So they have bolstered up their defense, if I'm being very honest with you. But nothing has been done in their midfield, and their offense is the same as well. And there are rumors that Rodrigo might leave at the end of before the transfer window ends, and Vini is not happy as well. So Real Madrid don't look at that good of a squad, if I'm being very honest with you. I don't think the front the magic of Vinicius and Mbappe is working at the moment. Mbappe was really good last year. Vini was not there last year, and I think if Real Madrid really want to win the league, they both need to be on super duper form if they really want to win the league. I just don't see it happening. I put them at second. I was very close to put them on third and putting Barcelona on second, but I just because of those two up front, and I know they can destroy teams at their way. That is why I put Real Madrid at number 2. And number 1, and I know it's surprising for a lot of people, I have gone with Atletico Madrid winning the title this year. They led Real Madrid and Barcelona last year, for a month, but they again just like Madrid, they threw it away. They faltered at the end, and went quite back from the top 2. But I think I just don't know. I have this feeling that this is their year, to be very honest with you. They have brought in Alex Baena from Villarreal. Yes, they had about 19 goal contributions last year, so that's a big signing for them. They have brought in Raspadori from Napoli as well. I think that's a really smart signing as well. They have brought in David Hanko. They have brought in Rageri as well to bolster up the defense, and they have brought in about quite a lot of players. About 8 to 9 new players have come, but the fact of the matter is they are really good players as well. Then you have Julian Alvarez and Alexander Solot already in the squad, who both had really great amazing first season, and I think they are going to get better. I think Atletico Madrid are going to be really good this season. I think they are going to trouble a lot of teams, and I just have a feeling they might surprise everybody and they end up winning the title, and that is why I think they are going to be the La Liga champions for 25-26. That is it. These are my predictions for the season. I think Atletico Madrid are going to win it, and I don't have that many surprises, if I'm being very honest with you, apart from Atletico winning the league. I think the European places are the same idea, the relegation teams as well. I think nobody's very surprised with that, but so yeah, it is. I don't think there are going to be that many surprises, if I'm being very honest with you, in the league this season. But again, this is it's football, anything can happen. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? What do you think would happen in your opinion? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 550 subscribers before the end of the season, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.